everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So it looks like Congress is finally on board with Trump's Pro-2A executive order. We have 30 senators that have penned a letter to the ATF demanding that they rescind 4 specific infringements on our Second Amendment rights. Now, while this just barely scratches the surface, we still need to talk about it because this is something that needs to happen. So let's get to it. Hey, real quick, if you're watching this video and you have not yet subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free, it only takes a second, but it really does help us out here quite a bit. It helps us spread our message, and it lets the powers that be know that you guys want to see content like this, which allows us to stay around for a little bit longer. So thank you to everybody for your support. And the likes, always appreciated. Don't forget to check out the comment section. That's where everything happens. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's go and talk about what's going on here. So I'm sure by now you're all aware that President Trump signed an executive order to protect the Second Amendment rights of all Americans. And in that executive order, he directed the Department of Justice to investigate any potential Second Amendment infringements that were caused by the previous administration. Now, for me, again, that's barely scratching the surface. I wish that executive order would have directed the Department of Justice to investigate all infringements since the beginning of infringements. But again, we got 4 years, and so that's kind of what we're working with right now. Well, as part of that, the Department of Justice has been investigating the ATF and a lot of their rulemaking and some of the things that they've come out with over the past 4 years. And so what we have now is the Senate kind of jumping on board and writing this letter to the ATF telling them, hey, look, we want you to rescind these specific infringements. Those infringements are the engaged in the business rule, the frames and receivers rule, the pistol brace rule, and the zero tolerance policy. Now, I have some positive and negative thoughts about this. Obviously, it's a positive that they sent this letter because we need these rules to be overturned. We need these policies to change, but we also need to make sure that they don't come back at a later date. We need to make sure that this 3-letter agency doesn't overstep its bounds once again. So the executive order is great. The DOJ investigation is great. The letter from Congress, fantastic. That's all good. But the thing that really bothers me here is, why didn't you send this letter out sooner? You could have sent this letter out during the previous administration. You could have spoken up. You could have voiced your opinion. You could have demanded that they made changes. You could have put some serious pressure on that agency to overturn these rules and these policies a lot sooner. But you waited until there was this executive order, like you needed permission to send that letter. That letter could have been sent at any time. But I guess I'm kind of getting off track here because I could go on a tangent about the names on this list that sent that letter to the ATF that also supported the so-called Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, and now are trying to save face by getting on this list saying, hey, you need to rescind these. But in reality, this is a good thing, and this is a positive thing. Whatever it takes to motivate them to do something right, I guess we should be happy about that. They need to do something right. They need to correct the errors of their past. And if it's this executive order that gets them to do that, then great. We need to make sure that this executive order isn't just a piece of paper. We need to make sure that it turns into action and those actions turn into results. And this is one of the ways that we get there. Like I said before, it barely scratches the surface. If you support this executive order, you should also support the Shush Act, the Hearing Protection Act, national reciprocity, constitutional carry at that. You should be able to support all the other bills that come across your desk. So hopefully we'll start seeing even more change as the year goes on. You know, I'm very aware that it's only been a month so far, so we haven't had that much time. But in that amount of time, we've seen some really cool things, but now we need to see the results. The results are what is actually going to speak volumes. So hopefully we can get these 4 things overturned and then move on from there. You know, repeal the NFA, get rid of certain things that are on there if we can't repeal the entire thing. We need to make sure that we're going after absolutely everything. We don't just step back, sit back, and just kind of wait for things to happen. So if you want stuff to happen, you know, make sure you contact your representative and let them know how you feel about it. And, you know, be an advocate for yourself, be an advocate for the Constitution, and let them know what's going on. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.